So I go and then I hear equipment guy Peter Miller screaming, was not very happy, and I'm like, what is going on? And I look around and he's holding the jersey like this, and he's like, who's the moron that signed this jersey? And then I raise my hand, I look at Peter, I'm like, I'm sorry, like, who's this for? And he's like, it's not for anybody, this is for Yannick Perreault. Welcome to Story with Biggie. Here's my first story of the year. We're going to have some stories like this about some funny moments throughout my career. I don't know why I'm thinking about this particular one today, but I'll tell you one thing. It's my rookie year in LA. We are playing at the old Winnipeg arena that had the big Queen Elizabeth painting. That was awesome. I love that building. It was so fun to play in there with the passionate fans of Winnipeg. And I'm a rink rat, and I used to always get there so early. Believe it or not, in LA, I actually had the locker room key. Back then, it was an old lock, and you had to have the key to get in there on the visiting rooms of every building in the NHL. And then we're in Winnipeg on a cold January night, whatever it was. I'm in there, and I walk in there. There's always like things that you see that you know are normal to do. Example, like signings. If it's a practice day, usually there's always stuff to get signed for little brothers or cousins or neighbors, and guys bring it in the room, and it's usually laid out like this, like it's a jersey or whatever it is, or a hat, and there's always a marker next to it. And anyway, so I'm there and I'm grabbing my coffee and I'm, whatever, starting to get ready and get organized, and guys are starting to trickle in, and I see this, the beautiful LA Kings jersey, right there laying on the table right in the middle of the room next to the gum and the tape and then all the extra stuff that, don't forget the bullets, Anyway, so I see this jersey, and I'm a nice guy. So I go there and I grab the marker and I see this jersey, and I think it's weird because it's a game day. Usually on game days you don't have things like that, but I don't think about it. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'll just sign it. So I signed the front of the jersey with a metallic Sharpie on a nice black LA Kings. Back then, black was road jerseys. So I write my name, and then guys are starting to come in, and next thing you know, there's about, 12, 13, 14 signatures on the jersey, and I go about my other part of my routine before the game, because remember, we're not superstitious. It's just part of the routine. Anyway, so I go, and then I hear this equipment guy, Peter Miller, screaming, was not very happy, and I'm like, what is going on? And I look around, and he's holding the jersey like this, and he's like, who's the moron that signed this jersey? And then I raise my hand, I look at Peter, I'm like, I'm sorry, like, who's this for? And he's like, it's not for anybody, this is for Yannick Perreault. It was a call-up that day, and they had gotten that jersey done right there in Winnipeg for him to wear that night. It's his jersey for tonight. So, God, I felt so bad. It's like 6 o'clock at night. The game is warm-ups in like 20 minutes. He's got about 15 signatures everywhere on his jersey on metallic pen. Oh, my God. I tell you one thing. I wanted to die. And everybody said, who's the one? Who's the first one? And I couldn't hide. I'm always the first one in the dressing room. So they all knew it was me. So I'm like, it is me. All you saw was a jersey with black spray paint all over like the 13, 14 signatures. And I tell you, it was so funny. Everybody was dying. And you could see at face-offs, guys from Winnipeg are looking at it like, where'd they find that jersey? It was the funniest thing. Peter Miller, I apologize. Saw him at the rookie face-off the other day. We were still talking about that crazy pregame in Winnipeg, where it was my fault that we signed an actual game jersey for that night of Yannick Perreault. That was a call-up that night. That was a story with Big E.